So I'm going to talk around an idea I've had for what I call chaos shamanism. I've looked it up on the net. There don't seem to be many references to it, so I can probably pinch it for my own. I came up with it about a week ago because I thought, well, I almost had like this visionary moment in some fairy woods near Doncaster. I started talking about teaching shamanism, like offline, in person. I don't know what the term is for it these days. I don't do that, but I know I'd be good at it. I just don't quite know where to start. But I just started talking and it just like it all came out and I was just feeling so deeply about it. I was weeping as I talked. It's like there's something bubbling up within me, something strong to say. And I'd love to do it, but I'm not in a hurry. I'm hungry, but I don't have anything to prove. Uh, I'm old enough to have had most of that knocked out of me. Besides which, I wrote a few books a few years ago, and that's sort of taken care of. Okay, you've done something now. So chaos shamanism, and in a way, I came up with the idea because I thought, well, what would I teach? What type of shamanism would it be? Well, it wouldn't be any particular kind of school or tradition. And the reason for that is you see this in spiritual traditions. You see the sort of breakaway kind of attempt to return to the source when it becomes religion, because that's what people do. They turn it into religion. They turn it into a set of forms which they bow down and worship, a teacher that they bow down and worship. And they think that's the thing. And then aligning themselves with that is what will make them holy, or whatever it is they try to do, enlightened, spiritual, whatever it is they're trying to do. Maybe just better than other people. Yeah? All of those things. But it's not about aligning yourself with the tradition. It's about aligning yourself with your own guidance, that which comes from within you. And that is what people find very difficult. But that is what a good teacher does. Good teacher doesn't go, you know, follow what I say, understand what I say, because I've thought it through much more deeply than you ever could. Well, he may well have done, but that's not the point. Don't align yourself with a tradition. Benefit from a tradition. Be inspired by it. Appreciate its depths. Traditions, they may be thousands of years old, and they almost carry an energy with them. Yeah, it's powerful. So we need to respect traditions, but not be beholden to them. At the end of the day, you always have to step back, and it's about you and your own soul. And if you are shamanic, your soul is the natural world. You and the natural world are the same. We belong to the natural world. The natural world is alive, it's inspirited. That is the foundation of shamanism, because that is the foundation of how indigenous people are in the world. It's not even an idea. For us, that has to be an idea, but for them, it's like it's the air they breathe. Well, of course it's alive. Of course we're part of it. Yeah. What crazy person are you that you could think otherwise? Well, we are those crazy people. We have this dead universe. I mean, I Christianity fell apart and gave rise to a dead universe. Why did that happen? Well, maybe because it had an image of torture at the middle of it. The crucifix, however profound its teachings might be in certain ways, it is almost an image. It is also an image of torture, bang at the center of people's mythology of how they see the universe, with this threat of hell. Um, so now we have a dead universe. So it's almost like we're in trauma. Yeah, we're in cultural trauma from what the crucifix did to us. Yeah, it's like it's dead, and we haven't woken up yet because, of course, the universe is alive. We're alive. Everything's alive. Rocks are alive. You can feel their presence. These big rocks. You want to talk to them. You want to love them. I live on Dartmoor. See that a lot. So this is what shamanism has to offer the modern world. This great forgetting that the world is alive and it's inspirited and it takes care of us and it's beautiful. And we don't need to put the spirit somewhere else up there in heaven. It is here. Nature worship. That's what it's about. I don't know if you watch Jordan Peterson, but this is why I have an issue with him. He tries to put that down as Baal, the golden calf, mere nature worship. Well, no, you're wrong. Nature contains everything. We contain everything. We contain the whole universe. So chaos shamanism. Now, chaos, that's an interesting word because we think of it as mere disorder. Well, yes, it's not order. It's not disorder, disarray, which is what it came to mean. It's the ancient Greek word. It refers to the vast abyss of unknowing, the great mystery out of which everything arose. Yeah, what came before the Big Bang is the great mystery. It's about that. So it's great mystery shamanism. We think because we can't order things in human terms that is a negative. It's disorder, it's disarray. Well, that's the rational mind taking over. Chaos shamanism is great mystery shamanism. And it's out of the great mystery, which pours through us, that we have our own guidance. And you see this kind of return to that kind of source in other religions. You see it in Buddhism. They have shunyata, which is emptiness, which is a bit like chaos. It's the great void. It's a return to the great mystery. So, oh yeah, great. So then people turn it into a thing. So you have to go, no. Emptiness is itself empty. All right, so you then have 2 degrees of shunyata. And they have to keep doing that because people turn it into things. They turn it into practice. So it's a continual process of rebelling against people's tendency to turn practices into like absolutes, into literals, into writing them in stone. Yeah. And then tell other people they're not being respectful. You didn't hold the pipe in the right way. You didn't give the right thanks. That's disrespectful to the pipe. Well, I'm not saying no to that. I do respect tradition, but actually it's the spirit that matters. There's a good story from Tibetan Buddhism about someone. There's the Avalokiteshvara, Bodhisattva of compassion. There's a mantra you recite, Om Mani Padme Hum. Well, someone got it wrong. They're reciting for years Om Mani Padme Ox. But it still worked because they were doing it with the right intention. So you see the point. Maybe you see it in Christianity with the dancing they had in churches in medieval times. And they stopped that because you make your own connection with the spirit when you move. Maybe the Sufi dancing is about that, a return to the spirit away from the rigidity of tradition. So that's what we need to do with shamanism continually because you see it happening. You see it turning into religion, left, right, and centre, all over the place. Not because anything's going wrong, but because that's what people do. They think there really is a lower world and a middle world and an upper world, and that power animals live in the lower world and spirit guides live in the upper world, and the middle world's where you go to find your lost keys. Okay, there's a certain amount of truth in that, but really, it's just spirit working through you. It has no name. It has no form. It has no shape. So if you just feel that working through you, it's not that you haven't got there yet because you don't know what your power animal is yet, and that you're backward. Actually, it's probably that you're forward. You don't need those intermediaries. I mean, I love my animals. Don't get me wrong. I love all of that, but they are intermediaries. It's the warmth, the great spirit comes through them. Their physical presence, the physical presence of power animals, animal helpers, reminds us of the physicality of spirit. Yeah. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. That's what Mary Oliver, the poet, said. You don't have to be good. You don't have to repent. You only need to do that. And then you have your source of guidance, moment by moment. Chaos shamanism is about listening to the spirit and listening to that inner guidance or outer guidance. It's kind of both, yeah, but listening to that guidance moment by moment and living from that, putting that first, putting your guidance before tradition, respecting tradition, but you need to feel that inner guidance needs to feel comfortable around the tradition. And there may be bits that don't feel comfortable. So don't think there's something wrong with you. Yeah, trust that inner guidance. Trust the bits that feel right and discard the bits that don't. And a good teacher will always guide you towards that. Chaos shamanism, inspired by tradition, not beholden to it, and listening to spirit at all times.